Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto news video. If you guys are enjoying the daily crypto news, make sure you support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. It really helps out. So the first tweet of the day comes from the Real Block X. He says, if XRP doesn't get used in this upcoming financial crisis, I will be very disappointed. And I don't want to hear, oh, it wasn't ready, or there's no liquidity, the price is too low, etc. That are all excuses. Ripple had years to prepare for this. It was built for moments like this. It's time to put up or shut up, in my opinion. How dare you build the best digital asset known to mankind and don't let it lose on the world? I'm long XRP, but I can be short on Ripple. Everything Ripple is trying to do with XRP, the time is now. Ball is in their court. I refuse to believe Ripple runs slower than XRP. They sold us for years on the speed and low costs, so the time has come to back it up. All those meetings with the Fed and IMF and all those other countries that are cronies that put us in this spot to begin with better not have been for nothing. As an XRP holder, I have the right to put fire under anybody's ass who claims to use XRP in a major way. I hold XRP and you create the value. In return, I don't dump. That was the deal. I'm sticking to my part, now live up to yours, Ripple. With that being said, I fully expect them, Ripple, to do magic in this crisis. I have all the faith, I 100% support the mission. Good luck. And then, to end it off, sorry if I'm coming off as a disgruntled investor, I'm not. I'm happy with the progress of Ripple, not all that pleased with the price of XRP, but still a good price to grab up more, which is always a positive thing. I just want to see the fireworks in person already. And I want to give my 2 cents on this, but be warned, it's not that positive, right? So basically his question is, yo, Ripple, you got a good thing going on here. We all know XRP is good, but this is your perfect opportunity to pop off, right? Everybody needs XRP. We all have talked about it and know it for so long. So fix it that everybody's going to use it, right? And that's where I see the difficult part. I really know for a fact that there's nothing in Ripple's grasp or Ripple's area that they can do to speed this up, right? It's definitely not on the side of Ripple that's causing all the friction, delays, and whatnot. It's definitely on the other side, which a major part of that is trust, right? And I think one of the biggest issues right now is that in a time of crisis, people are more distrusting or not trusting as much. And especially now when Ripple has to set up these partnerships and these corridors and whatnot, or at least the underlying bricks for the corridors, one of the major things you need is a mutual relationship, right? Because you need to get your new partnerships and you need trust everywhere. So you kind of got to get somewhere by knowing somebody and whatnot, and really buying a lot of places / investing a lot of money into, I guess, getting a lot of partnerships like that. And the big issue, as I just stated out loud, is that right now people are not that trusting, and many are also not that interested in investing. We saw with Shell, they're cutting down investments like crazy. Why? Well, they're losing stock prices, and investing more money sometimes makes them look bad if you're not earning as much money. And that's again why a lot of companies are not innovating at this point right now. And you might be thinking remittance companies are different. Well, remittance companies are often, or at least some of them are, the big ones, some of them are a part of something, right? And those bigger companies are doing a lot of things right now. And one of the things that's not exactly priority right now is, I guess, innovation. You know, I think one of the biggest things going on right now is stabilization / remaining constant, you know, or at least not deteriorating. And so even though it might be the perfect time for Ripple to excel to a newer level because they have all the bricks together, getting to the next step is really not up to them. At least that's my 2 cents on it. So I would not really just point the finger at Ripple for not popping off if they don't in this crisis. I would really just think it's not their choice to make. But yeah, that's why I'm not really too sad if they don't pop off this whole scenario, this whole crisis type of time frame. Just because I know they have had years, yes, but they're still years ahead of the competition, right? And you might be thinking you have had years to prepare. Well, We've had years, maybe even decades to prepare for a crisis like this, and yet it still hits like a truck, right? So that's no excuse to make whatsoever. Having years doesn't mean you're prepared for something at all. Even though you have years, it could take decades to prepare for some. For example, now I think one of the biggest issues they claim to have, and I don't know if you guys trust that or not, is that there's not enough oxygen, like masks or something. If you go to the hospital, you have to lay on the bed and be on the oxygen tank. I don't know what the English word for it is, for like a couple of weeks, maybe months, I don't know. And they don't have enough of them. But then you're like, wow, you've only had, let's see. When was the last movie about a vid like this made? A vid, I mean the vid-19. Hopefully you guys know what I mean. The crisis, the things going on. One of the last movies was made like maybe 4 years ago, maybe even sooner, maybe even later, I don't know. So if you guys all knew that this or something like this could happen, you could have prepared for it, right? Well, yeah, you could have, possibly. But still, the theory behind it and the practice is such a different thing. But yeah, that's enough said about this one. I don't think it's very bad if they don't get it fixed because it's not their choice to make. Nick Bugalis said, though, on Twitter, I just published a proposed spec to improve privacy on the XRP ledger. The blinded tags proposal allows for source and destination tags to be cryptographically scrambled so that they are seemingly meaningful only to the source and destination of a transaction. Kind of increasing the privacy on that, which is definitely interesting for the real cryptocurrency pros under us. So the proposal reads, the goal of this proposal is to ensure that if blinded tags are in use, an attacker capable of observing every payment transaction will be unable to isolate a pair of transactions that refer to the same unblinded tag. This proposal aims to be secure, minimal, and performant. Ideally, it should be possible to implement tag blinding as a single function call that does not noticeably increase the time necessary to assemble a transaction. Similarly, using a blinded tag should not make it significantly harder for the intended recipient to process a transaction. So, I think it's 2 years ago that we actually had a discussion about this exact topic, about how blinded tags would affect everybody. And we didn't really come to a conclusion yet because, of course, to any side of the gun, there's two sides to every story, right? And in this case here, this proposal attempts to alleviate this concern that I guess mostly of the not so nice guys by specifying a standard that allows for tag blinding. A blinded tag is mutated in such a way that it is meaningful only to the sender and the recipient of transaction, but appears random to everyone else. Right? You can read a little bit more about that in the abstract part. Let's actually quickly do that though, because I think this stuff is important. The XRP ledger supports source and destination tags, which can allow a single account to hold funds for multiple users. These arrangements are commonly called hosted wallets, which a lot of exchanges use. When sending from a hosted wallet, the account uses a source tag to tell which user prompted the transaction. When sending to a hosted wallet, the destination tag tells the account how to further distribute those funds. So among one wallet, there's multiple accounts with one tag. A typical example is an exchange like Bitstamp. When you want to deposit funds, Bitstamp provides two pieces of information: an address identifying a Bitstamp wallet and a destination tag. Hopefully you guys all get that right there. Destination tag is presently an unassigned or unsigned 32-bit integer. This means that there are 4.3 million possible destination tags. And yeah, hopefully you guys get the story around that and everything. Now, moving forward though, the Bearable Bull just posted on Twitter, 1,000 XRP will change your life, 10,000 XRP will change your family and friends' lives, and you'll start numerous successful businesses. 100,000 XRP will change entire cities if you have a heart and proper education. And 1,000,000 XRP, we take the damn planet back. So I personally think this is a little bit more of an attention grab than a real piece of information. I like it, right? I like that he motivates people to hold strongly, and I guess suggests people that even though you have 1,000 XRP, it's good because it's going to be life-changing, right? That's a good part about it. Bad part about it is I think it gives a little bit of a wrong perception of how much the median is of how many coins people hold. Like to put 1,000,000 XRP in there just takes some people by surprise, right? And not adding maybe like 50 XRP in there to see, you know, for all the people that are just into it or don't have that much money to see what is going to happen to them. It's just a missed opportunity. like the Dogo says here, and 150 XRP, and then like the dog right there. Because realistically speaking here, I think 80% of the people watching at least have less than 1,000 XRP. Most certainly have less than 2,500 XRP. And you got to think with yourself of where you can get with that. And that's why I often make the retirement videos and whatnot, just so everybody has a clear picture of where exactly these coins will bring you. Because I like giving you guys crypto news, I like giving you guys a full story on everything, but what I don't like to sell is fake dreams. Really, guys, that's one of the worst fears I have of anybody investing, is that they got too caught up and are hoping for something unimaginable. So even though 1,000 XRP can definitely change your life, 1,000 XRP will not become $1 million. If it will, we're going to be so extremely lucky, but the world will not be at all as we know. It's going to be so strange, because that would mean $1,000 per coin. And theoretically, it's possible. I don't, there's no boundaries really to that, but it's so far away, and it's not going to happen overnight at all. We'll see it coming, because really $1,000 per XRP is not something that happens in a week or two. It really is going to take a long time. And those things you should not really wait for too much. You should wait for things that are more realistic. So I would say, a couple of dollars per coin could really happen in the span of 3 weeks, like that, bam. I definitely think that's possible. But talking about these higher numbers is just something that nobody can help you out with. And I think you're really hurting yourself more than you're benefiting from it by putting those things upon you. Again, keep dreaming high, but make sure you stay realistic with it all and know that it might take a long time, and know that, maybe you should have bought more. But guys, these videos are not meant to make you buy coins. Please do not underestimate please do not mistake these videos for that. I really don't want you guys to buy or sell the coins because of me. Just give you guys some info. You do with it as you please. But these videos are not meant to make you buy or sell the coin.